Hi, I'm Greg.
I'm John.
I am one with the Force is with me. Rogue One's honest trailers. This was requested from people.
Oh, good. I don't know, man.
This was first requested from DFK 220. DFK down fucking Kingpin. He is the Kingpin who was always down
DTF.
to fuck.
Yeah, alright. Let's...
Warning, the following video contains spoilers for Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
We're the Rogue wrong.
Rouge
Guys,
One.
you've seriously got to learn how to spell Rogue.
So many people.
You remember A New Hope. You remember Darth Vader. Now, prepare to remember the handful of years between the rise of Darth Vader and the start of A New Hope.
We call it the Death Star.
Uh-oh. They're gonna just rehash everything from Star Wars, aren't they?
I've got a bad feeling about it.
Rouge One, a Star Wars story. Get ready for Disney's first Star Wars anthology movie, because there's no way in hell they'd call it Star Wars Prequel number 4 in what has to be the most money anyone's ever spent to fill in a plot hole.
That's the place I've laid my trap.
That answers your most pressing questions. How exactly did the rebels get the plans to the Death Star? Did they grab a data tape with a giant claw machine, then use a big antenna to beam the data tape to a ship? And then did that ship transfer the data to another smaller tape? And then did Princess Leia copy that smaller tape onto a tiny droid's hard drive? You know, whoever said this one is as good as Empire must be really into file formats. Meet an all-new gang of rebels you, how do I put this? Shouldn't get too attached to. Like Jyn Erso, the rebellious rebel who rebels so hard she does whatever her dad tells her.
They must be destroyed.
I know. We will.
Whatever her surrogate dad tells her.
Go with him, Jyn. You must go.
And whatever her new coworker tells her.
I'm coming with you.
No, we can't risk it.
But sometimes she's pretty grumpy about it. Rebelling alongside Jyn is K2SO, a droid with more personality than any of the human characters.
I'll be there for you. Cassian said I had to.
Cassian, a rebel whose most heroic moment comes when he doesn't murder someone for once.
I had every chance to pull the trigger, but did I?
Saw Gerrera, an extremist cast out of the Alliance by extensive reshoots.
Uh-huh.
Chirrut, the blind guy who's technically not a Jedi, but, I mean, come on, look at this guy. Gunny McShootface. I'd add more, but that's pretty much all there is to this guy.
That's true.
Cower before the might of the Empire, as various old dudes squabble over who gets credit for the Death Star.
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours!
While down on the battlefield, stormtroopers are rolling out in 2 brand new flavors, but with the same old incompetence we're used to, whether they're missing easy shots.
One with the force and the force is with me.
Casually getting taken out, or setting up their weakness to sticks that the Ewoks would take advantage of. Why do they even bother with the armor at all? Enjoy one of the most beautiful Star Wars films to date that feels like the world's biggest budget fan film. Full of Easter eggs that will have die-hard fans saying,
Gold leader.
Red leader.
awesome!
The Guardians of the Wheels.
I get that reference. Hey, it's prequel guy. Blue milk, cool.
Got you, sisters.
Never told me anything, Artu.
Okay, I like them.
You just watch yourself.
So that's where those Cantina guys were. They were walking around.
Yeah, the T-15s have been marked obsolete.
T-15s. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up later. Whoa, what an awesome way to put Tarkin in the never mind. And this feels wrong somehow. But nothing will service fans harder and faster than Darth frickin' Vader, as a much older sounding James Earl Jones tries to give us a new iconic scene.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
Let George Lucas write a line. But just when you think he's been wasted, extend your lightsabers for the most badass Star Wars moment put to film. The hallway scene. Which makes Vader's next fight in the timeline even sillier than it already was. Ooh, do more tricks.
Lightsabers like changing colors.
Not starring. The following shots you saw in the trailers that weren't in the movie. Jin versus a TIE fighter. The
true.
group working together. Actual heisting. War-torn Scarif. This iconic shot of Jin undercover. Unused Vader? Saw Gerrera's other haircut. The shot they based the whole marketing campaign on. All these other cool shots. And this line.
This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel.
Okay, cutting that one makes sense.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. Star Wars stories.
I'm one with the Force, the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. That's not how the Force works.
Think the internet has enough Star Wars shows? Think again. We've launched an all-new show with professional youngling Jenny Nicholson to explore the outer rim of the Star Wars universe. Watch this week as she tackles what Star Wars creatures would you eat, then puts her credits where her mouth is in the ultimate galactic taste test.
She's
Why, what is
beautiful.
this meat?
Ugh, gross.
Whoa.
It's Screen Junkies Millennial Falcon Weekly, and it's free every
Millennial
Saturday on Screen
Falcon.
Junkies News. I know him. He's a friend from work. I want that Mulan McNugget sauce, Morty. I popped my pants. I can't wait for Disney to announce the Michael Bay / M. Night Shyamalan co-directed Jar Jar, a Star Wars story. We all float down here. This is how we do it. It's Friday night.
Yay!
Hooray!
Yay!
They always raise some good points, those Screen
The
Junkies.
giant crew at Screen Junkies has done it again. I wonder which specific person wrote this one. That was really funny. That was really funny. I did not realize just how many shots were in the trailers that were not in the actual movie. I was able to think of a couple.
Yeah,
Like
right.
a few very distinct ones. Like the famous one where the lights are coming and you see Jyn Erso undercover.
That, the TIE Fighter, and I Rebel are the ones that always stood out to me.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, man. Like they used this movie went through so many reshoots.
I know.
They even had I didn't even notice that Forrest Whitaker had a different haircut in some of the shots in the trailers.
When they pointed that out, I was like, oh wow, he doesn't have like the big, like the his unkempt hairdo like all the time.
You know what's weird? I find a lot of people who don't like this movie. And it kind of upsets me because this is one of my favorite Star Wars.
Yeah,
I thought this was one of the best ones.
I really enjoyed it too.
If I'm going to talk to the internet,
Yeah.
I would say Empire, New Hope, and then this one.
Okay.
If I were to just give my real choice, I would say Empire, this one, A New Hope, Force Awakens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because
This is really my second favorite, is what I'm saying.
I'm surprised to hear that because most people I've come across seem to be really positive about it, but I don't. It doesn't come up in my daily life as much. I really like this, and I'm not a huge, Star Wars fanatic, so this is easily one of my favorite Star Wars movies too.
Well, they make jokes about how it's just like a fan film that sounded very unnecessary. And while it technically isn't like unnecessary, it's not still doesn't...
Yeah, episode 8 also not necessary.
Feel
Or
like
episode 7, whatever. There's a lot of
whole
unnecessary
bringing
shit.
back Star Wars is not necessary.
You don't have to do any
Yeah.
of this. We've told the story, and now we're just looking for other story.
But I felt that they still gave us some really cool characters. K2SO did have the most like personality out of them all, but I thought they were all very distinct.
I liked Cassian. I liked the whole crew in this movie. Like even if you don't necessarily get to love these characters like you do some of the other Star Wars characters, I thought they handled the ensemble well, and everybody brought a lot to their role.
Especially for characters that a very specific crew that only took place in this one movie. You're not seeing these guys in anything else. They're only in this one film. I thought they all did like an amazing job, and I felt, while there's easy ones to favor, everyone's going K2SO or Donnie Yen.
Donnie and Chirrut.
Churro? Churro.
Everybody loves a good churro.
Yeah, and the other Asian guy, Beelzebub. He was great.
Yes.
I know my Star Wars very well, John.
Oh my.
I remember everything I hear in all these movies.
I like this movie a lot, and the thing was, like, this was to me the most interesting thing to come out of Star Wars in a while. Because I liked The Force Awakens even, but this was like, oh, we're telling a different tone of movie, which felt to me a little more worthwhile than some of the other stuff we've done with Star Wars over time. So I guess while I understand the fan fiction argument, I'm like, well, hey, at least it invigorated me again.
I thought it was a great piece of fan fiction, if anything.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing now. Like, basically.
All it is fan fiction.
Like, that's what it's gonna be now, because now you've got all these people who grew up on Star Wars and who love Star Wars, and someone's gonna get lucky enough to do their own fan fiction that just happened to be Gareth Edwards for this, you know, and whoever else was on that script.
I did like how they pointed out how characters are, like, taking out stormtroopers with sticks.
Yeah, stormtroopers are just never gonna be great.
Stormtroopers are the worst
at their jobs.
Why do people collect stormtrooper toys? They are terrible. Stormtroopers.
Because they look cool.
I guess.
Because they look cool, and I think you can feel morally alright about the idea that they're probably not gonna kill anybody too important.
They're not badass stormtroopers.
Even Phasma.
Even Phasma's not a badass stormtrooper.
Phasma, you're like, oh, she's got a cool silver outfit. We're gonna see. Nah, she's just gonna show up, be grumpy, and leave again.
Nah. Well, guys, thank you for telling us this was out. Honest trailers, they're awesome. Andy Signore has approved us of doing these reactions, so before you harp on our asses.
These are Signore certified.
Signore certified. I like Signore.
I do too.
Joe Starr, he's my favorite. He's the funniest one at Screen Junkies.
Yeah,
I think Joe Starr thinks I'm his biggest fan.
It's possible.
Every time I see him, I'm like, you're like the funniest guy at Screen Junkies.
You do take, you let him know.
I got a tournament of nerds, and I love you, Joe Starr. You're so funny.
Hey, Joe Starr was a revelation on Tournament of Nerds. His green Power Ranger was awesome. Magic. I just want to live inside Joe's beard.
We went to, what was the place called? The comic book shop? Peaky Blinders?
I believe it was called the Perky Nerd.
The Perky Nerd. And Joe Starr did stand-up. We've seen Joe Starr on movie fights and his honest trailers. We've seen him in, like, do commentary. We've seen him do Tournament of Nerds where he does improv character. And then we saw him do stand-up. This guy is funny as fuck all around.
Yeah, we've seen him do, like, one of every kind of comedy.
Yeah, he is funny as fuck. Go follow Joe Starr. Subscribe to The Real Rejects.
1-800-REASONS-TO-JERRY is my phone number. You can get me on the Twitter and Instagram at ReasonsToJerry. Head on over to Blumhouse.com. Blumhouse.com. I'm the social media manager over there, but also there's just a bunch of cool stuff there if you like genre films. Facebook.com/TheRealRejects is where you can find all kinds of things that are interesting to us, and also, new videos. Even though Facebook just hates YouTube links. Everyone's algorithm. Just no one wants us to succeed. Hey guys, have a good night. I love you. Goodbye.